Did you know that level Wave had a bad Ware? You didn't? Damn. Guess I gotta tell you now. They do. He's called Good Ware and is based off of the inverted skin of bad Ware. Good Ware, as his predecessor, is a snowballer. Starts off horribly, but one ability, and good management of that ability, leads into a domino chain that prevents him from being able to lose. In this case, ability 1 is setting up a PC setup. They look very much like me, except they have a progress meter. Criminals can go up to it and hack it. Once it has 100%, it will be destroyed. Your entirety of the moveset, with the exception of one ability and your M1, heavily rely on these things. Any other savior near a PC setup, most of you, is given a speed boost. At least one is necessary for you to actually keep up and chase. And you need to be near one enforcement. Ability 2, well, actually, I'm pretty sure it's just called charge, but I'm going to call it bowling, which is you do. After a short wind-up, you begin to bowl, literally over to the nearest thing. If you hit something, God forbid a wall or another person, you will deal damage. It's 5, plus another 5 per setup, maxing out at around 40 at 6 setups. You don't need to be near one, you just have to have them down. And the completely different ability, swap. Originally, it just functioned like Rift, but now, they removed the latter half of what Rift does, and simply put it, upon pressing the button, you can switch to another setup. Clicking on said button during this time window will switch its place between you and your setup. In this case, it does not reduce the meter at all. So just note that if you're switching to a setup with a very high meter that breaks as soon as somebody else goes ahead and touch it, it's gonna stay like that until it starts reducing on its own. And completely unique to this character is EMP. Anything within a really large radius of you, after a short wind-up, loses the ability to see their health, their stamina, the time, and the ability to use abilities. The exception is anybody who's playing Darth John Grace, or any other survivors, usually via elimination opponents. In this case, they're slowed to a point of crawling. It's nuts. In addition, EMP criminals can be teleported to via swap, dealing bleed damage though, but it's longer than it should be. The whole gag of Good Ware being a PC setup is part of the lore. Good Ware is trying to escape Bad Ware's wrath, and as such, overrode an old PC tower setup. And as such, that's sort of the core design. Just make Good Ware's design just a giant fucking old bookshelf with some sort of display with their head on it. And that is literally most, if not all, of his skins. With a few exceptions being maybe Surreal Ware in his Xmas skin, which are Surreal Ware is, I don't even know. They're more akin to like weird core. And Gifts Ware is a giant present with no face display. And obviously his Mastery skin, which is just a giant server.
I got this.
If a bad Ware is unfortunate enough to leave a version of Punch alone, Special MS plays. Unique to this game is Rage Quit. Bad Ware, in this instance, is given the chance to spawn as many PC setups as he physically fucking wants. They also can be pumped up, which is new, as they used to be a thing originally, but they changed that because that was stupid. The criminal changes their punch from a short, swift uppercut to a spin dash, which restores any PC setup, and does 220 damage to back in good Ware. Of 1,000 and 100. So that hurts. The problem is, it has startup, takes a while to end, can be absolutely overruled by bowling, and worst of all, if it doesn't hit anything, it has some of the nastiest end lag you'll ever see in a fucking ability ever. Ultimately leaving them 100% more vulnerable using it than it would be you just M1ing the whole game. Yeah, most of my gameplay is going to be fucking stupid at special rounds. I know. I would have loved to have gotten regular games with this shit, but trust me, this is all I can muster without torturing myself and more of this character. He isn't as bad as I thought he was, though when I first started trying to get footage of him at all, I suffered endlessly. Not because I'm good with any of the versions of I've ever played with, but mostly because I just don't like this character so much. You'll see. You'll see. Now, there are more than just that one LMS. Dual Maestro, RE, level life, double trouble, is 2 killers, 8 civilians, I think it is? I'm not sure the numbers, but it's the rest of the lobby versus 2 people. In Die of Death, the penalty was a default start time with half damage. In this game, it's half the time, and all criminals are given an additional point of stamina, but full damage. So slamming on top of somebody still does 20 damage. Use that to your advantage, because you can still do 40 damage if you have full setups. Combine that with 2 people playing good Ware, and they have good PC setups, and then they're going to be hitting those 40s constantly. Charge is not on a short cooldown, but it ain't fucking unscammable either.
I got this!
If you ever have the misfortune of having to deal with two Googlers in a dual maestro, you'll be blessed with a music team of Stacked Overflow, based off of a computer error in which there's too much shit being sent to the PC at once. Remember when I said Ware is very susceptible to this thing called bomb rushing? You think, oh, low health, nothing to really defend himself with. He's very prone to getting his shit absolutely robbed by a female offensive unit. No, most if not every single killer in the game has more than 500 health. Artless is pretty susceptible to, getting shit rocked being able to increase 145 health, but he's a trapper. If you're dealing with groups of people, that means they're most likely all stuck in a single place. And that's just easy. Not to mention, with the exception of maybe Shield Bash, most stun you, and if you get stunned, you have like crazy long duration. You can just kind of run through all of it. Shield Bash doesn't stun, it pushes you, so it just technically ignores that part. People will probably still try to Shield Bash regardless. No. His setups can get rushed now, which is somehow worse than bad Ware's, because at least bad Ware's setups take like forever to come back. Due to how they work, it's not unlikely that you will kill a few people who try to take your setup alone, and then spend the rest of the game trying to keep up with 5 or so people, bum rushing all of your PCs down as soon as you place one. One starts chase to distract you, and gets you as far away from the setup as possible while you don't have spoiler port, and the other 4 just break down your PC 10% at a time. They tried to make it better by reducing how long it takes to even hack it, as originally it was actually faster to do so. However, it doesn't change the fact that the less people there are, the more progress you make in a single usage. The maximum is 20 if you're solo. So 9 times out of 10, it's mostly going to be 10-15%. Especially if you're decent enough to control some space. In larger maps like Outpost and Forest, this is just hell. On Sanction Man, good fucking luck. But maps like Grandpa's Front Yard are easy as hell. That map is not big enough for PCs and bum rushing to work. Otherwise, if you can handle a bum rush, and consistently, mind you, not just like a one-off, you probably won't even struggle as much as I did. Ever. Just shut up and raid quit already. I swear to you, I was literally just talking about this map earlier. You know? Yeah, I just got lucky. Yeah. Who knows? I'm the one editing this shit. Ever heard of Dorfic? No? Yeah, up until this point, me neither. Looked it up. Explains the palette of Dorfic Ware being a very orange themed character. Dorfic is an orange themed to early 2000s era style of graphic design. Think aerospace. That sounds really fucking familiar. I could have sworn I've heard that before.
I got it!
This up a little bit. Really didn't want to move out of the way, huh? You guys can get annoying occasionally sometimes. Might feel like fucking stop. You guys can get annoying occasionally sometimes. Want to see something cool? You guys can get annoying occasionally sometimes. Let's see some more juice about that. Want to see something cool?
I got this!
You guys can get annoying to cater for sometimes. Speed this up a little bit. I can hear the headlights. You might feel a slight
I got this!
I work on top. Hi, everybody.
speed like congrats. You're the biggest.
To be completely honest with you, I completely forgot the character had voice lines at all. They're very fucking quiet. I actually kind of like them because you could barely hear them at the very end before the LMS started. Congratulations! You're the bigger loser than them all!
Want to see something cool?
You could say his fat ass was not very careful, was he? Didn't you say he had a master skin? Well, did I not get it? I was planning on not getting it and then just making a video on it because God, I hated good Ware. And then I proceeded to then earn the last like 40 wins sweatless. I lost like 3 games and those 3 games because I getting bum rushed like easy money. There's a terminal Ware. The intermediate references I can tell is kill effect, an M1 noise, and his PC spawn. That is it. And also, obviously, all of them have a different like, stuff line. So in this case, it's restoring servers. And spawning a PC setup is more akin to just creating lives than, you know, duplication. And killing somebody causes them to get hit with an orbital fucking strike. You'll see it. It's crazy. It's burned and charred and everything. I don't think we're knocking these people out anymore. We are just straight out killing them. Yo, jackass, you wanna go bowling? Yeah! Funny thing is I actually had 10 PC setups. Making that bowling joke was perfect.
Here at least.
What do you mean the crippled guy has a counter? Why? Okay, hold on. I chose the wrong skin for my characters because
You fucked
why
up
is
my
Star
face.
Platinum green? That is not the normal color for you.
This shit is 30 minutes long. I'm just gonna skip to the last man standing so you have something more interesting to do than sit here and watch them. Yeah, celebrate. This 39-minute video is dog shit. Get the fuck out of here and don't come back. Trust me. Man, that game sucked. What an asshole.